Hello foodies, and welcome back to Matthew's Culinary Corner, where recipes meet memories. I'm Matthew, and today we're going to dive into a family favourite, my mum's delightful raspberry finger buns. Growing up, my mum was a magician in the kitchen. She'd whip up these soft, pillowy finger buns that transported us to a world of sweetness and joy. After school, my siblings and I would race home, no dull moments allowed. The beach could wait. These finger buns were our priority. With 6 hungry kids, homemade treats were a budget-friendly necessity. But more than that, they were made with love. And now I'm sharing this recipe with you, hoping it brings back memories for you too. So, let's get baking. Alright, let's dive into the recipe. Here's what you'll need. 450 grams of plain flour, 7 grams of yeast, a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm using 90 grams of sultanas, but if you don't like fruit, that's okay, you can leave it out. 250 mils of milk, 1 egg, some softened butter, 50 grams, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. For the yummy icing, we've got powdered sugar, 200 grams, and I'm using some pink colouring to make it look great. Okay, so how are we going to bring this together? First of all, we're going to bring the wet ingredients together, and then we're going to add in the dry ingredients, and we're going to get a nice enriched dough. I'm going to use the KitchenAid, but of course you can always knead it yourself. Once we have our nice dough together, we're going to put it into a greased bowl. We're going to cover that, and we're going to let it rise for about an hour or doubled in size. Okay, so the ingredients: the milk, the butter, the egg, and then the vanilla extract. We mix this first before changing over to a dough hook, and then we add our dry ingredients. We add the flour, and then we add the sugar, the salt, the yeast on the opposite side, and then the sultanas. And we mix that until it gets to a nice dough for about 7 to 10 minutes, depending. You can always check it. You just want a nice, glossy, stretchy dough. And when you think you've got the right consistency, you're done. Take it off the stand, and there we have it. Great, so now we've got our dough. We're going to get it out of the bowl. First of all, I like to put a little flour down. Get my scraper and take it off. Now I like to just give a little knead. For less than a minute. Great. Now I'll put it into a ball. Just like that. And it's ready for rising. And we're going to let this rise for about an hour or doubled in size. Great, and welcome back. So, let's take a look. Yes, the dough's ready, it's bouncing back, it's doubled in size. Let's put it onto the counter. And then we're just going to knock it back. Looks pretty good. I'm going to weigh it so that I can determine how many rolls I'm going to get out of this. So 924 grams. Okay, so 924 divided by 12 is about 77. So we can make 12 at 77. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut it up and measure it out. So we know we want 12, so if you divide it, we know that that's 6 and 6, and then we say that's 3. And let's weigh it out. Ooh, 77. Great, now we've got 12 buns. Now I'm going to roll them out. What I do is I put it in my hand and just make a round motion like that. And then we've got one ball. There we go, 12. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make them into the fingers, okay? So all you do is you take the ball and then you just roll it down to about, now I'm going to use inches here because let's say about 4.5 to 5 inches, and then we're going to put it on our baking tray. Great. So now we have our fingers all ready, and now we're going to put them in a plastic bag. I'm just going to put a plastic bag here. That's just to stop it from going dry. Put it in, cover it, for about 30 minutes, 35. Let them double in size like before. All right, let's go. Great, welcome back. And look, they've risen, definitely doubled in size. So now they're all ready for the oven. Make sure your oven's been on for 200 degrees fan or 220 Celsius, normal. Although most people have a fan oven these days. All right, so they are ready to go, looking good. We will check back on them once they're nice and lightly brown on top. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, let's see what's cooking, huh? I'm excited. They're looking good. Oh yes, perfect. So, here we have them. 12, well, there will be raspberry buns. Right now they're raisin buns. Okay, so we're just going to put them on the tray to cool. Lovely. So now they're going to cool. It's going to take a while for them to cool, and then when they're nice and cooled, we're going to make our icing. And then what Mum used to do is she used to just cut them open and we put butter in them and jam. Or what you can do is you can cut them, put whipped cream in, and then jam on top. Many ways of doing it. You don't even have to use the colouring, but I think it looks good. And I particularly like sultanas and raisins, so this is looking yummy to me. Okay, let's wait for them to cool and do the next step. Great, so now the buns have cooled. We can make our icing. So I've got about a teaspoon of hot water here, and I've got some milk. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this going into a nice paste. And you might not need all of it, because you want to keep it nice and thick. So you just want to bring it together. Now you've got it into a nice thick paste. Just a few drops of food colouring. So now we're just going to take our buns I like the way that they join together. I always love that. And then we're just going to dip them into the icing. So we don't need that much. You can make it a little thinner or a little thicker, it all depends on what you've got. I think that's perfect. Then we'll take a nice tray and we'll just make some nice iced buns. Great. We'll leave it at 4. I think they've come out well. And just like Mum used to say, I mean, it's made with love. And I remember our afternoons, Sunday afternoons, when Mum would have friends and family dropping by and would have a good cup of tea and a lovely raspberry finger bun. So very excited to recreate this, and I hope you try it out yourselves. You can serve these warm and put some lovely butter inside, or as I said before, cut them and put some cream and some actual raspberry in there. So my friends, bake these buns, make some memories, and keep the tradition alive, because food isn't just about taste, it's about love and connection. So thanks for joining today, and I do hope you try out this recipe and leave me your comments. And once again, thanks Mum.